In the fleeting moments of life, we are all bound by one universal truth. Our emotions can enslave us, or we can become masters over them. We are not mere creatures swayed by every wind of fortune. Through discipline, we cultivate resilience. We build the fortitude necessary to navigate a world where judgment, misunderstanding, and hidden disdain often cloak themselves behind veils of politeness. But what of those times when you sense that the bond between you and another is not what it should be? When you feel the cold touch of something unsaid, the invisible weight of disdain pressing against the air? How do you react in such moments? Do you succumb to the burning pain of rejection? Or do you, with calm and clarity, rise above it? The path of the Stoic teaches us that we must neither fear nor resent the actions of others. What matters is how we choose to respond. The emotions of another cannot be controlled, but our own actions and reactions are ours to command. To understand the subtle signs that someone may be hiding their dislike is not to act with resentment, but to recognize the truth and, in doing so, find strength in our own self-mastery. 1. The subtle withdrawal, the distant gaze. When someone dislikes you, their body betrays them. You may find their eyes, once warm, now distant. The Stoic does not recoil at this gaze. Rather, they understand that this withdrawal is a signal not of their own inadequacy, but of another's internal strife. Marcus Aurelius, the wise Roman emperor, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It is in the calm acknowledgement of this distance that the Stoic finds their own strength. The other may seek to distance themselves physically or emotionally, but the Stoic remains grounded, rooted in virtue. There is no need for petty gestures of retaliation. We must not cling to the need for validation from others, for such a pursuit is not only futile, but beneath us. To be disliked is not to be diminished. It is to be reminded of our own capacity for strength. The lack of interest, apathy, cloaked in politeness. Have you ever felt the cold indifference of someone who has mastered the art of polite disinterest? They may listen to your words, but their thoughts are elsewhere, as though your presence is a passing shadow in their day. For the Stoic, this is no cause for bitterness. The indifference of another is an opportunity to practice forbearance and self-control. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, spoke of the value of equanimity in such moments. A good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. When we are faced with indifference, we are presented with an opportunity to refine our own character, to remain steadfast and undisturbed. The Stoic does not seek attention or approval. They seek virtue and wisdom. In this pursuit, the disdain of others is but a passing breeze. The evasive silence, words left unspoken. In those moments when someone dislikes you, you may notice their silence, a deliberate withdrawal of words. They no longer seek to engage in conversation or share their thoughts with you. For the Stoic, silence is not an enemy, but a teacher. It teaches us the value of introspection, of finding strength in our own company. Epictetus, one of the most profound Stoic philosophers, reminded us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When faced with silence, we must not let our minds spiral into doubt or anxiety. We must not question our worth based on the refusal of others to engage with us. Rather, we embrace silence as an opportunity for internal dialogue, to question our own actions and refine our responses. In the stillness of the moment, we find the power of self-reliance. The avoidance, the empty space between you. When someone dislikes you, their body language will often give them away. The Stoic does not fear this avoidance. They simply observe it as a fact of life. There is no shame in being avoided, for avoidance is not a reflection of our intrinsic worth, but of the limitations of another. The key, according to Stoic wisdom, is not to react with bitterness, but with awareness. In a world where people often act out of fear, jealousy, or misunderstanding, the Stoic must understand that the actions of others are not within their control. The great philosopher Epictetus wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoic finds no need to chase after the approval of those who have chosen to avoid them. Instead, they seek only to better themselves and their understanding of the world. 5. The fake kindness, the smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Sometimes someone will hide their disdain behind a veneer of kindness. They will smile, nod, and act cordial, but there is something in the eyes, a coldness, a disconnect, that betrays their true feelings. How should the Stoic respond? Bro. 6. The judgment, the eyes that criticize in silence. In the presence of someone who dislikes you, their judgment can often be felt before it is even spoken. The Stoic does not shrink in the face of judgment. They recognize it as an illusion, a reflection of the other person's inner turmoil. It is not our actions that are judged by others, but their own interpretation of them. The Stoic knows that no external judgment can touch their inner peace unless they allow it to. Seneca spoke of the destructive power of judgment when he said, "It is not the one who is criticized that suffers, but the one who criticizes." To be judged is to be given a glimpse into the inner chaos of the other, and rather than feeling the sting of their words, we must recognize it as a moment of clarity for us. We need not seek approval, for approval is transient and fleeting. We must only strive for virtue, and in that we are free. 7. The hidden smirk, the mask of concealed contempt. Finally, there are the moments when someone's disdain is hidden beneath a mask of superiority. They may laugh lightly, smile briefly, or nod with an air of condescension. They mock you, not with words, but with the subtlety of their expression, their demeanor. The Stoic does not falter in the face of such contempt. They understand that contempt is a reflection of weakness, not strength. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it simply, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To be mocked is to be reminded that the mocker is bound by their own weakness, their inability to cultivate true inner strength. The Stoic, unmoved by such behavior, sees it for what it is, an expression of internal suffering, not of external power. The Stoic does not react with vengeance, but they understand that vengeance binds them to the very suffering they wish to escape. Conclusion: the triumph of the Stoic spirit. In the face of hidden disdain, the Stoic does not waver. They know that the actions and judgments of others are not within their control. and that their own response is all that matters. Through the cultivation of inner strength, through the practice of self-discipline, and through the unwavering commitment to virtue, they rise above the pettiness of the world. We too must cultivate this same spirit. We must not be swayed by the fleeting judgments of others, but remain rooted in the understanding that the only true power lies within. The Stoic path is not an easy one, but it is the only one that leads to true peace. In the end, we are not defined by how others view us. We are defined by how we view ourselves and the strength we find in overcoming the obstacles, both external and internal, that life presents to us. So let us not be shaken by the signs of disdain we see in others. Let us instead cultivate the virtue and strength that will carry us through the darkest of times. And let us rise above it all, unshaken and unbroken.